Hello, and welcome back to Yidhari Street Yidhari Ground, a Yidhari Zone Zero Yidhari cast discussing all things Yidhari. As always, Yidhari, 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 Yidhari.
Brian, are you okay? Are you okay, Brian? Are you good? What is this?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm good. Yidhari is everything. Brian, Yidhari, Brian. I'm Eric, by the way. I know how excited you are because she's here.
She's here.
And you didn't get her right.
No, so I got super lucky.
Yeah.
She showed up on my first 10 pull for her. Like,
really?
She wanted to come home.
No, let me ask this real quick before you tell me the rest of the story.
Okay.
Did you already have Vivian's skin when you got her? Were you less than 10 rolls away from Vivian's skin?
No.
Did you have a brief moment where you were like, "Oh man, I'm gonna have to keep rolling just so I can get this skin"?
I got it, and I was like, yay, I got her within 10, and then I'm like, poo. I'm still like, I don't remember. I think I was still like 90 away.
Whoa, I was
because
30.
I got Lucia on the 50-50, so I think she took about 80 pulls.
Yeah.
And then I got Yidhari immediately, so I was like, that's only 90. That's halfway there. I'm like, I'm not going to get her until Dial In or Ban Yue.
Yeah.
Then I rolled for her W engine.
Oh, no.
And I think we talked about it in the past, where like it's 50-50 for the characters, and you said it's like 75-25?
75-25 for Wenjin.
I lost that.
Oh,
it took me 130 pulls to get the W engine.
That's so many pulls.
I almost went to hard pity for the W engine.
And so I guess my question then is, you get to about, 90 pulls on the Wenjin banner. Did you go on the side of, do I really want this? Or were you like, I need this more than ever, I'm so committed?
The desire sensor was real. They knew I wasn't giving up, and they were like, You thought you were going to bank it for 2.5. Well, you were wrong. You're spending everything you got.
In. Oh, man. But you got it.
It's worth it.
Congratulations.
So, not only does it make her tails glow, but it like has like glowy highlights in her hair and like the ribbon on the back of her head. So it's really cool.
That's cool.
It's worth it. For anyone who hasn't pulled, spend your hard-earned money on a W engine for her.
Or do. I like that with Lucia and Yidhari. And I guess actually with Orpheus and Magus, they're experimenting with different ways the W engine can like embellish your character.
Yeah.
Because like with you just mentioned with Yidhari, like the tails glow, but you also get the other accents that glow. I guess her hair glows, but also her tails glow. With Lucia, it puts like little glowing orbs on her shoulder pads and like gives her like a whole more magical feel. Yeah. And then with Orphe, she glitters. I don't know if you noticed, like she sparkles if you've got her W engine. Her horns and gun sparkle.
See, the problem is I usually like, if I decide I'm going to pull for the W engine, I do it when I pull for the character. So I never actually see the character without the W engine. So then I have to go on, turn off the W engine effect so I can actually see what the difference is. I had to do that for Miyabi, and then I was like, oh, her like ends of her hair are like glowy.
She has a little bit more glow. I think I only really notice it if I've been playing with the character, because I got them built early, but then I do their character story, or like the main story where you play as them, but you're playing as the demo version of them. Because usually like the demo version doesn't have their Wenjin, and so I'm like, well, how come she's... No, I paid for her shoulders to glow. Please make her shoulders glow. What's happening right now?
Yeah, like it makes me sad, like running around. When you like choose the character and you run around like New Era,
Overworld,
you don't have the effects.
That's a bummer. I feel like that's an easy thing they should change. Like, I paid for this effect. I think they would sell more W engines if they did that. Because, like, you're seeing it that much more.
Yeah.
You know? Or you're like, I love this character, so I always run around the overworld with this character. So even though I don't use her, or him, I guess, I'm gonna get their W engine so that their hair glows when I'm out of it. I don't know. Maybe they'll do that someday. That would be cool.
Yeah, that would be a nice little like free quality of life thing. Is like, hey, we know you spent money on this thing. you can enjoy it in the mode where you can more freely enjoy the character.
Yeah. Brian, can I make it even worse for you for your reaching, like, how many rolls it took to get your W engine?
No.
You know how you know how for characters. I'm looking back at our show notes from episode 2. You know how pity for a character is 90?
Yeah.
Pity for a W engine is 80. So you're even that much closer to hard pity.
Oh my, yeah. Yeah, that was rough. I was like, this is so expensive. Brutal.
That's rough. Now, I did not go for her W engine. I think I talked about it last episode that I love Yidhari. I did get Yidhari. I won the coin flip, but I won it at 81 rolls. So it took a little while to get there.
Yeah.
But I finally didn't get a copy of Soldier 11 while trying to get a character, which was kind of neat.
Now that Soldier 11's maxed out, they're like, we don't want to give you that.
It'll be Lycone next, right?
What?
No.
You might know. What do you get if you've maxed out a character and you get another copy? Do you get like a free like a collect 10 of these, or do you just get...
I don't remember how much it is. I can look it up and either I'll Google it while we're talking or I'll put it in the show notes. You know how you get like 5 of a currency whenever you roll for a character?
Yeah.
Or whenever you get a character that's like a duplicate.
Yeah.
And you get more. You get 5 of those, and then a constellation or a mindscape. But then if you have all the mindscapes and you get another A rank, you get like 20 of those.
Mm-hmm.
For an S rank, I think right now it's just more of those.
Oh, so. Oh, okay.
But those do translate directly into additional rolls. It's just like you're not getting like a whole. I don't even think you get a full roll from getting a duplicate 6-star.
That's kind of sad.
You just now. This is my obligatory once per episode Genshin reference. Genshin in year 7 of the game being out has officially added something where if you get an additional mindscape or constellation, you get like a special thing that you can then use to raise the level cap for another one of your characters. And they did it retroactively. So like if you had already I already had maxed out D-Luke and I had pulled an additional D-Luke in the past that was just wasted, they still gave me that bonus currency. So if that's something that Zenless or MiHoYo do for Zenless in the future, where they do add in some kind of special thing for getting an additional mindscape on a fully mindscaped character, they are tracking that still. So like,
nice.
It's not lost, but yeah, I'll put in the show notes. It's maybe like a roll, like you can exchange it for another roll in the store, but it's kind of nothing.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It's the residual signal that you get. And it may actually say it it probably says it in signal search. It's fine. You get some of that. It doesn't matter. I'll cut half of that ramble.
And now you don't actually cut it, but you just leave in that statement saying, and then people are like, God, how much longer was that ramble? That's still what you left in.
Exactly. And that's where you go, wow, Eric, thank you for the 45-minute lecture. So I did not get her W engine. I'm using some of the ones that I already have. And like, I think her W engine situation is weird because there just still aren't that many Rupture engines to play with.
It's kind of it's a rehash of the conversation we had with, I think, Jane.
I think Jane at the time, and then Defender, we had this conversation.
Yeah, because we were like, there's not really, because it's still new, there's not a lot of Rupture W engines.
Yeah. But, like, at least with this one, the engines are workable, even if they're not perfect. There is a weird thing right now where if you don't have her main W engine, one of her best W engines is actually Monato's engine. Despite the fact that Monato's engine, like, one of the things it does is buff fire damage, which she doesn't have.
But it's still a Rupture engine, so
it's a Rupture engine, and what it does, its effect is when the character's HP decreases, they get 15% crit rate. And Yidhari, is always lowering her HP. So it's pretty much a free 15% crit rate, which is substantial enough that it's okay to not get the other part of her bonus. The only thing like I'm thinking about right now is I know that I'm going to roll for Banyue, who's a fire rupture unit, who I assume will really benefit from that W engine. Because he does do fire damage. So like getting an alternative engine for Yidhari is going to be interesting. I'm rambling, but I'm in that place right now where like I have some pretty good engines, but it doesn't feel as good to not have her W engine.
Yeah, I mean her W engine, it's like all of them. It's statted exclusively for her, so it's like, oh, it gives you 12% HP increase, and then when you decrease your health, you increase ice shear damage.
Yeah.
And then also when they fall below 50%, their crit rate increases. And so like it's just designed to make her better.
And it makes her really, really good. So I guess the takeaway here is if you are like, I want Yidhari to be a powerhouse, her W engine may actually be worth it. But she's very functional without as well.
Yeah. She's definitely not one of those characters where you're like, she just doesn't work nearly as well without it.
Yeah.
Like,
she's like
Trigger was one of those of like, without her W engine, it's awkward. And
yeah. And actually, that's I'm glad you mentioned Trigger, because I've been looking up team comps for running Yidhari. And first of all, no surprise, any team that has Yidhari and doesn't have Lucia performs notably worse than a team that has Lucia in it. So like they're, as expected, buddy. Although apparently Lucia is a, like, percentage-wise, a better resource for Yixuan. Like, she's a better improvement on Yixuan than she is for Yidhari even. So if you were to like have to run both of those in like a deadly assault, you'd be better set putting, I guess, if you're just trying for big numbers, be better set putting Lucia with our Shifu instead of with Yidhari. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. But also like acknowledging that if you have Yixuan, that pretty much takes care of that part of, like, it doesn't matter who she's with, she's gonna clear that part of deadly assault anyways. So really it's just trying to get big numbers. But I thought that was interesting. But what I was really trying to get at was Yidhari likes to play with another stunner, right? So she likes to be, I think the team's being talked about, like, I guess really, who are you using her with when on your team? You've got Lucia. I just talked a lot.
You like ran around in a circle, and I was like, I don't know where he's going right now.
I'll get back to it. I want to know who you're using with Yidhari and Lucia.
I'm going back and forth between Lycone and Jafufu.
Okay.
Like Jafufu was just easier because she just you flip to her, so you do your special EX, and then you flip back. Whereas Lycone is kind of weird in that, like, you play him differently than Lycone wants to play.
Okay, talk to me about that, because I haven't.
Well,
I want to
use
like him, but I haven't.
Lycone's like the normal way to use Lycone is how, like, Qingyi, where like the stunner had most of their uptime.
Okay,
but you don't want that because you want Yidhari to have her uptime. So you like switch over to him. You maybe get like a few auto attacks, and then you do his EX, and then you switch back to her. Just so you get the like ice resistant debuff.
So
on
are
the enemy.
Are you even holding the EX special, or is it a tap EX special
for Lycone?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never used him before this team.
I'll look it up. Because like normally you can like extend his stun buildup by like holding it instead of just pressing it. But if you're just using it for ice reduction, I don't know.
I also could be just playing Lycone completely wrong. But I read some other people, and they were like, they're like, don't play him normally where he's just sitting there like building up stun, and then you're going to flip over to Yidhari for like, because that's like the the attacker style of like switching over to them, they do their burst, then you switch back to your stunner. This one is more of like you're just buffing Yidhari and she's just on field wrecking face with her giant hammer.
Because she has some stun build, like additional stun build up into her kit anyways. So like she's doing some of the work of a stunner in addition to the Lycone or Jafufu.
Yeah. And I don't have the patience or the desire to actually stat out.
Okay.
Which is better, like Jafufu or like it's also one of those is like most of the stuff like near min-max Yidhari still just wrecks face on everything.
Yeah, you're still gonna clear it. It doesn't matter.
But so I've been using those two.
Okay.
It mostly I'll probably just use Jafufu because she's easier.
Yeah.
Unless like I'm doing one of the modes where like Jafufu is being used on another team.
Sure.
And then I have like, all right, cool. Like, also I forgot I had like fully built Lycone.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, now I'm gonna have to build Lycone, and I'm like, oh, he's all built. I've just never used him.
I at one point had Lycone fully built, but I'm pretty sure I've gutted him for parts since other stunners came out. So I may need to recheck his equipment a little bit.
Yeah, I had to get a couple like disk drives for him.
Yeah,
but it wasn't too bad. Like I think I pulled like one or two off of Rena since she hasn't been seen in ages.
She's been fully benched. I've seen right now. I guess it's because there's not like a dedicated rupture stunner, except kind of Jafufu. Yeah, Dial-In. We know more. Dial-In may be like the guaranteed third slot for that set.
I am assuming she's gonna come in, and although maybe they're. Because I think I don't know, but I feel like she's just based on the fact that she's between like two rupture agents. She's probably going to be a stunner for rupture.
She's going to come. I think I have a feeling she's going to come out and really shake up the way teams are built. But until then, I have seen that similar to Lycone being used on her team, Yidhari plays well with Qingyi. You just don't use her like the mash attack AoE thing. You don't use that. You like swap her in, you burn her EX specials, you swap her out again.
It's a bit kind of the same way you do with Lycone.
Yeah, like with Lycone. The other thing, and I can maybe find a link to the video, but somebody who's like really pushing for high numbers, the highest damage team he was getting used Yidhari, Lucia, Trigger.
Okay.
And to bring it all back again, on that team, you don't use Trigger's W engine because she doesn't need the defense shred. You put her with a different engine instead. And like that was turning out the highest.
That's where you were
number.
Going when you ran off on. You just ran off, and I was
Do you
like,
remember 15 minutes ago?
I was like, Trigger's W engine. You were like, speaking of.
Yeah. And I was gone. It's been a long week. But that's fascinating to me. I also know some of the people in our Discord server have been getting pretty good results using Pulchra. I think Pulchra and I guess kind of Trigger are those like Omni application, like fit anywhere stunners that you can just use. I am a little disappointed because I had expressed, I think maybe last episode, my deep hope that Yidhari would benefit from having a big chunky shield. And so maybe this would bring Caesar back.
Yeah.
Yidhari doesn't need a big chunky shield.
No.
she is a big chunky shield.
She defends while she's charging, and then she hits and she restores like 30% of her HP, and then you're like, all right, cool. Yeah, I was expecting her to feel sweatier to play because of how like rapidly you drop your HP.
It's so fast.
But she has such a massive pool, and she has so many, like she takes like reduced damage while she's charging. Then she heals up, and then she also has her like parry mechanic with her her hammer. So like I played her. I ran this week's Hollow Zero with her using the adversity set like we talked about.
I was going to ask you how that went.
And I did not feel in danger at all while using her. Like every other time I've played it, it's like, ooh, like like super high damage, but like one or two hits. Like there were one or two times like I caught like a stray on Yidhari and she was like, bonk. Yeah, joke's on you. And then, like she's just stacking all the HP buffs because all of them are like, while you're losing health, increase everything. And she's like, all right, cool. I do that on purpose, and then I heal myself. So like, you're just negating all of the downside of adversity. So it just felt super cool. Everyone else was like worried because like their health was going down, and they're like, Yidhari, stop. And she's like, I got this, guys.
Yeah, you don't have to be on the field. You don't need, as long as you've got 1 HP, you've got enough HP. Don't even trip, dog. Especially because like there are so many ways to combo into her attack 3 without having to hit attack twice. And her attack 3 heals for 10% of her health as well. So like in addition to like
heals for like 10% and her EX heals for like
30. Yeah. So like between those, and those can chain into each other. So you're like, your real struggle is keeping yourself below 50% health despite all of her own healing coming in. So you're getting all of her like buffs and everything.
Oh god, yeah. And then like you're doing Hollow Zero and you get that one prism that's like, oh, you do increased damage as long as you're below like 50%. You're like, cool. That's every time I swing because I just decrease all my health.
Bet. Let's go. I'm looking for. I haven't done like that yet. I'm looking forward to that. I actually this time decided to put myself through a different type of pain by running mobile. And I know how you feel, but here's the thing.
I've tried mobile, and as long as you can dedicate that extra focus to paying attention to the prompt, it's really good. Yeah, it just takes a lot more focus than I want to invest.
So I think. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, I was like, I don't like it as much as the other ones.
So I have I've been able to do mobile, but it's sweaty for most characters. But I think just like Yidhari, kind of like adversity was designed for Yidhari, I think mobile was designed for Yixuan. Because after each use of her EX special, it prompts a mobile aftershock attack. You're always using her EX special 3 times in a row. And so it's on PlayStation, triangle, hit switch, triangle, hit switch, triangle, hit switch. And that is 3 guaranteed. You don't have to look in the corner because you know that the prompt is available. Mobile triggers.
Okay.
Without thinking about it. So it becomes like a really cool rhythm game. And as long as there's not a gold attack, a gold cross attack during that sequence, it is a gimme. And if there is, you free swap to the next character, they block it, and you just switch back to Yixuan anyways. That is the one time where I was playing mobile, like, this isn't taking more brain power, and I'm never going to die because I'm healing every time I switch. I'm doing all this crazy damage. I've got more energy. And, like, a lot of the mobile things give you energy regen. So even if you're not using her EX special to parry, you always have the energy to just spam out 3 real quick. That was a lot of fun.
Okay. I always just use ultimate with Yixuan since she gets 2 of them. So it's like, oh, whenever you use your special, your ultimate, you get all this stuff, and I'm like, cool. I'm using the one that doesn't cost decibels, so I'm just hyper pumping decibels. Like you end up like spamming like, if you get all of like the ultimate ones, you're just like, she becomes just an ultimate caster. She just does like 8 in a row. Yeah,
especially if you've got Jufufu in there, so you can get more ultimate energy to begin with. And you don't have the gear that like consumes extra decibels to do more damage. Like and even if you have that, it works, but it's absolutely insane. I now though am very excited next week to use Yidhari on that mode because that sounds like a lot of fun, and I like the adversity stuff, and I also don't like getting worried about losing all my health because my adversity is there. I was surprised that she was not a task force agent this week. Like, I kind of expected
I was
her
too, and I think the only reason is because she didn't come out on the reset. So, like, making her a task force agent, but then, like, I think that's the only reason. I fully expect her to be a task force agent next week.
Yeah, I'll buy that. Yeah, man, I think I am pleasantly surprised with the balance of accessible and sweaty options for playing Yidhari. Because you can get really micromanagey and try to really like eke out all of those like counter parry into basic 3 into charge special. Like there are so many different ways you can like get to her big money attacks and do really crazy stuff. But also you can just play her and completely shred things too.
Someone brought up a point in the Discord about whether or not she would be good in the Endless Tower mode.
That was me.
And
I asked about that.
I haven't tried her yet. And the only reason I'm worried about using her is because after like floor 20, all of the enemies are so overtuned with their damage. I don't know if she can tank enough hits.
Yeah. That's
like,
my worry.
Because every time I've played it, it's like characters that normally can take like still take quite a few hits have like, oh, you took 2 hits, you're dead.
Yeah. Caesar's like I can take 3. That's it.
So I haven't tried her yet with that.
Okay.
But I would be interested to see if like if she has enough HP to tank a hit and then heal back up and negate that worry, or it's still just going to be another one of those like you want a team that you can just hyper switch around and not have to worry about.
Yeah. If you've done that, pop off in the Discord and let us know. I think it's 2 extremes though. It's either you're lowering your health, so if you get hit once, you will be resetting the floor. Or she trivializes a lot of things because if she can survive the hit, she has infinite sustain. And the hardest part of Tower is when you get to like floor 9 out of 10 and all of your team have like taken chip damage for the last 8 floors. And so you're going, now I really can only survive 1 hit per character and there's no healing unless I get an Astra ult. So like it's one of those 2, and there may be a point midway Tower where it switches from like this is easy mode to don't bring Yidhari or never get hit.
Yeah, I don't know. Or maybe that is where it's like Caesar, this super niche mode that most people ignore. It's your time to shine.
But even then, I think we talked about it like when we brought it to the Tower last time. All Caesar's shield is chunky, but it's not so chunky. All it really does is afford you 1, maybe 2 additional hits before you have to reapply it.
Yeah.
So it's that is one of the things I thought about asking you about, and I just already knew the answer. That is one of the game modes that like I just don't engage with all that much. Is the Infinite Tower.
Every once in a while I do a little bit of it. Yeah. And like I'll do it up until I get annoyed of having to reset because I took 1 stray hit and I'm like, all right, well, I'm screwed. I have to do this. I have to do this fight perfectly because if anyone catches 1 hit, then they're dead.
Yeah. And if the reset, like at least I'm on a PS5 and the load for resetting, it's not long, but it's long enough that after 2 or 3 resets, I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like this is taking too long to get back into the fight again. I don't know. It might be better on a big juicy rig like you've got.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was like, no, for me, it's pretty much instant.
That must be nice. And maybe I'm misremembering, and I just get frustrated from trying over and over again.
It is also one of those of like when you're already annoyed, any amount of waiting just becomes you're like
the worst.
I'm just killing time that I could be doing literally anything else.
Yeah.
Speaking of literally anything else,
yes,
I have more evidence that Yidhari is a Lovecraft inspired character.
Okay, go off, King.
All right. What is Yidhari's main stat?
HP.
HP Lovecraft. Coincidence? I think not.
Okay.
HP Yidhari Craft. I'm seeing it. I see it. You just gotta look beyond the veil, Eric. It's right there.
Yeah, it's right there. You've been hearing the whispers in the night telling you. It's there. I heard someone mention that like Yidhari is a reference to like they said like yeah it's Lovecraft lore, and then they're like it's extended Lovecraft lore, and I'm like that now means nothing. Like extended lore means it was not done by Lovecraft, it was added on posthumously, and like the Lovecraft stuff has been like so deep in the cultural zeitgeist and around for so long that like everything can be tied back to extended Lovecraft. I mean,
because I'm trying to think of like which creature. Like you have Yidhari, she could be like a like Yogg Sothoth, but like that's just two names that start with Y and have other letters in them.
Yeah, I mean like, but this is the point where you get like. Murphy, both Yidhari and Lucia have old Irish inspired last names, which is cool. Murphy translates to Sea Warrior, which makes sense because she's an octopus and she do the fighting. But then you have people being like, it's an old Irish surname and old things reference the great old ones. So that's a connection. And you're like, no, they don't. My pocket watch isn't a great old one. It's just old. But Brian, you're right. HP is her main stat. And I think that is the connection. And I'm fully on board with this now. Post your like, and I want to see people share their increasingly like stretched out and tenuous connections between Yidhari and H.P. Lovecraft to an aggressive extent. I just want to see that happen. You know? Where you're like, Yidhari is an octopus person, and octopi have tentacles, and tentacles look like cat toys, and H.P. Lovecraft had a cat, so that's a connection.
Oh, I don't think we should reference H.P.
We're not going to talk about Lovecraft's name. Hey, the name for that cat was bad. Just that one's bad.
Speaking of, let's move on.
Let's make like a cow and move on to the next thing. There are some events going on right now. I finally got my hands on the new simulation trial. I like that it makes me use multiple teams. I like content that's asking me to use multiple teams, and it's not as sweaty as Deadly Assault can be.
I was going to say, this is one of those contents that if you have been playing since the beginning and you've got like four or five teams, because depending on what the elements are, then it's very easy to clear. And if you don't have them, then you're going to hate this event because it basically it punishes you for not having played this game since the release.
I mean, you can still use some rental characters though, right?
You can. I think there's like you get like one rental character, like one team worth of rental characters.
Because I did some fights where I was like, I could use other people, but if I've got a free lighter, why don't I just use a free lighter? Like, sure, but that sounds cool.
Yeah, like if you're like some people where like they maybe have like one actual team built and then they got a bunch of like strays, it's gonna be not fun.
It's gonna be tough. If Yishuan's why you started playing.
Yeah, like, it's gonna be super hard to get all of the modifiers you need to make it super easy to pass.
Yeah.
Like the easy mode is like that one you can clear fine.
Yeah.
The hard mode is where they're just like, do you have the teams? All right, then you're gonna ace the content.
But I think that's good. Like, because there's still easy mode. You're not missing on all that much if you can't clear hard mode.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Deadly Assault, where like people get upset because they don't 3-star every boss. But the assumption is not that every single person is going to 3-star all 3 bosses. Like,
you
unless
only have
you've
to
been
get
playing for a while
to get all of the polys.
Yeah, which could be hard, but is doable. And if nothing else, gives you something to work towards as you build out your account. It's where we start talking about like building out characters is a big part of playing a gacha, but also building out your account is a big part of a gacha. Where like you want to have a variety of characters for a variety of things. You see these people who like the only characters they've rolled on were attackers. And then they're going, I have 8 characters. Why can't I beat Deadly Assault? And we're going, well, who's your stunner? And they're going, I don't. like it's regular Anby and that's it. And we're
this is not one of those games where you can ignore like team comps like that, you need to kind of follow the team comps that the game wants you to run for the most part. Like there might be one or two teams, or like you have like characters like Miyabi who can kind of just ignore most things. But for the most part, like you're gonna want actual teams that you want attacker, stunner support. You want like double anomaly support. Yeah.
Diversify your portfolio. Invest in, and really, like I think we keep hounding on it. Like if you're gonna invest in anybody, invest in good supports. Like you don't necessarily need their W engine. I think like for the most part, the W engines are not as like character defining for the most part, but like invest in getting the supports because they really do shape your teams in this really notable way. I say that knowing the next two characters that come out are a stunner and a rupture unit, but stunners are also just like specialized support, so get those two.
Yeah. And I mean, we don't know who are going to be the companion banners, so there's...
It's true.
Because we've already had Astra Yao rerun, right? Or have we not?
When was the last time Astra Yao was rerun?
Or has she never been rerun? No, she had to have been rerun.
I'll pull up a banner history.
Yeah, because we had... So obviously Yidhari-har-har and Lucia are not going to be coming around for a bit because they just ran.
Yeah.
Although I guess Yidhari-har-har at this point was, 4 months ago now?
She's been a little while, yeah. I mean, isn't Alice at least 3 months old now?
Yeah, I forgot that they were from the summer event and now we are in November, so they are like almost 6 months away.
Yeah. Let's see. Orphe ran with Evelyn. Trigger got rerun. Yanagi got a rerun. Miyabi got a rerun. Caesar was rerun back with Jafufu. Astra Yao was rerun alongside Yishuan, which was a really tough banner if you needed both.
That's right. I do remember that.
Hugo and Lighter. Jane Doe, Juyuan. I mean, we may see a rerun of Yanagi, or not Yanagi,
because I guess we're
Alice.
We're kind of due for them to start having to rerun the 2.0 characters.
It seems like it. Yeah, we might get a Yishuan rerun.
Or I guess, yeah, because it messes with me because they don't rerun them in the order. So like Vivian's already had a rerun.
Yeah,
but she came out at the end of the 1.0s.
I bet Yishuan gets rerun alongside Shengguang. Like
maybe
they like to drop those big powerhouses at the same time to really stretch you thin, make you make a decision. Or they'll rerun a character when they know, like most people have them, but they probably want their banner. I bet we get Lighter again soon. Like Lighter got a rerun back alongside Hugo, which was during phase 1.
I forgot that they had already started rerun banners that early.
Yeah, the first rerun was Ellen Zhou being rerun alongside Astra Yao coming out, which is wild. It's so long ago.
So yeah, I guess we are due for them to start rerunning the 2.x characters.
Yeah,
rerunning characters for a second time now.
Giving us because I think we'll start seeing some second runs of characters. We need a Soldier Zero and B rerun because they have not run her since the update. So I bet
that's right.
That's
I thought she was going to get rerun when they released her. Once people were like, "Oh, she's super strong and gross.
She's so good now." They've got to do that soon, I'm sure, because then other people who are like, "I don't have her engine yet," can get her engine as well. We'll keep an eye on it. All of that's to say that if you're somebody who's newer to the game and you're trying to be like, scare quotes, responsible with your pool currency, first follow your heart. Second, don't follow Brian's advice.
Yidhari.
And third, like if you're really conflicted or you're one of those people who like you like these characters but you're really frustrated by the fact that you're not able to clear all content, put your love to the side and invest in what makes a strong couple of teams and get some good supporters or some good stunners and let that kind of drive it. Speaking of new Anby, which character do you feel like right now is, just in terms of gameplay, the best feeling character to play?
So I think the cop-out answer is Miyabi, because she's still like her kit is so easy to pilot and she does so much damage and like everything is in that kit.
Yeah.
But minus her, it's tough because you have the balance between who's the easiest to pilot and whose kit flows like
who do you think is the most fun to play? Like, if you're like, I'm doing my daily farming, so I'm just gonna spend I'm gonna spend 100 energy to get ice tokens or whatever, and I don't care about speed. I'm just gonna do this for fun. Who's the character or team that you're like, this is the one I'm gonna bring in because it's fun to play?
Well, right now it's Yidhari.
Okay.
I was using a lot of the Orpheus Sandby team also, because that's a lot of fun to just play.
Yes, that's where I go to, is like new Anby feels just so good to play. Like, everything flows smoothly. You're managing a lot of different little like you're micromanaging different meters and things, but also things just happen so fast and so fluidly that you're not getting like sweaty over it.
Yeah.
You know, like, and in longer fights, it does still feel good to be able to swap back to Orphe and drop her nuke, and then swap to Trigger and just burn her EX specials and stuff. New Anby flows so well.
They did such a good job fixing her.
She's the only character so far that I'm very tempted to get her W engine when it runs again, just to make that team even better.
I don't remember if I picked up her W engine or not.
I know
feel I didn't.
Yeah, well, so when she came out, we were excited about her, but she was clunky. Yeah. And I was like, there's other things coming out. I'm not so sure. But now, like, she feels really good to play.
And also now that there's a boss in Deadly Assault that is tailor-made for her team.
That helps too.
Because, God, yeah, fighting that boss with that team, it just, it feels so good.
I did the most recent Deadly Assault with that team, and I missed one of the knockdown opportunities and still easily cleared it with like an extra like 8,000, 9,000 points, just because it just feels good to play that team on that boss. I really like the addition of Wandering Hunter to the game, both as a Deadly Assault boss and now also as an alternate boss to the end of Hollow Zero.
Yes, which is something nice, because it's also been something we've been complaining about, because with the Miasma Priest, she just negated Miyabi, and so it was so annoying when she would be like the agent, the special agent for the week, and you're like, I'm not using her because it's a boss that has a crap ton of ice resistance.
Yeah. Now, I will say, I wish they would just show the boss weaknesses when you're selecting your team, because I took in the Jane Doe, Alice, Yuzuha team because they're on bonus, and that's a fun team.
You shouldn't take Jane Doe against Wandering Hunter. He's got resistance to physical.
And guess what? I forgot was Wanderer has a resistance to physical. So I was still in the same exact situation of like, just like trying to chip through this giant boulder using a toothpick, because I just forgot. In the moment, like, I couldn't remember what that one's weakness was.
Yeah.
So like, I just was like, everything else in the game has been really transparent about what weaknesses are, and I don't know why that hasn't trickled into Hollow Zero.
Yeah, that would be the nice thing.
No, just tell me. That's all I want to know, because that team's fun, and I like using that boss is fun.
I doubt they will ever do it, but especially for Nineveh. But it'd be nice if they let Geppetto also be an option, because like he came out, and then we have this new mode, and you just never fight Geppetto anymore.
Yeah, Geppetto doesn't exist. I don't know what you're talking about.
Like, I'm wondering if at some point they will bring back, because you kind of have it where, like, it's in two. Geppetto and Nineveh are, like, the story bosses of Hollow Zero, and then you have these two others, which are just, like, bosses.
And those two felt bigger. Maybe it's because when we were playing through when they were coming out, there was more build up around them. Like, you had the whole, like, the Nineveh thing, like, you're always building up to Nineveh, and then, like, there were things you could do that would affect, like, how many enemies she spawned and stuff, and that felt really big. And they had, like, ads and stuff, and then now, like, with Miasma Priest and Wandering Hunter, they're just smaller. There. They're just there.
Yeah. Well, because you even had, like, when you would go through, you would find artifacts that affected, like, Geppetto's boss fight and stuff. And so, yeah, it does kind of, it's a little sad missing them. But you miss out on those bonus rewards because they're only available when you fight Miasma Priest, Wandering Hunter.
And like the other side of that coin is, just for clearing things each day, Miasma Priest and Wandering Hunter are faster fights.
Yes.
I mean, granted, Nineveh right now, if you go to her, you're gonna smite her. But like, if they were leveled up to current content, there aren't as many invincibility frame. Like, there's not the whole, like, Nineveh run around dodging stuff phase,
especially
or Geppetto slow wall phase. Like,
yeah, with Wandering Hunter, he has even less, because as long as you find the correct Lucia, which it took me way too many fights to figure out that it was a very obvious visual cue.
Super obvious.
But like, once you see it, you're like, oh, obviously. But like, the first time I was just like finding one, clicking them immediately, so I never like paid attention to it, and I'm like, oh, because the first time I did it, they like gave me an achievement for like, they're like, hey, congratulations, you're stupid, you picked the wrong one. I'm like, how can you tell,
dummy?
And then I'm like, oh, it's very obvious.
If you're listening and you don't know, the one that's right has like a glowing silhouette with wings. Like, it's very clear. I really like that if you do that correctly, it's an immediate knockdown phase. Like, it makes it so even if you didn't bring Rupture in, you can clear out their Rupture shield really fast. I hope that's a trend for other new bosses that come out. We're like, yes, they still have this special shield that Rupture can chew through, but there are, by smart gameplay, you can kind of reduce the skill gap there, or the power gap there. I also like that you can, it's a little bit like the Hugo fight, where you can guarantee a parry or a character, a gold attack character switch, because the moment you hit, like, you tag the right Lucia, he's gonna attack you. And it's always a guarantee, unless you weren't paying attention like I was the first couple of times, and you just get smacked in the face, because there's not a long window for that.
No, you do have to be ready for.
But I like having it on my terms. I like knowing that like this idiot's gonna get punched in the face. Like, let's go, man. I think, there's been a lot of changes to the game since 2.0 came out, but it, on the whole, it feels a lot more coherent in terms of like how they've been designing gameplay and how they've been designing bosses. And I'm really excited for what's coming down the pipeline, because enemies like Wandering Hunter and like some of the additions to things like Hollow Zero really reflect that they are being intentional about how they design the game and what is fun to play. And so I'm pretty excited for like what gameplay wise is going to happen towards this like latter half of the season 2.
Bring back TV mode.
Okay, and bring back TV mode, but a little bit, and maybe not like the Fault. Arpeggio Fault was rough.
TV mode, I think at this point everyone can just accept it's not coming back.
I think it's going to come back as an event sort of thing. Because like Golden Week was fun. When they did TV mode. Yeah,
like if it does come back, it's going to be in those very limited modes, like throwback kind of references. It's not coming back in any meaningful. And I think in some ways, I know we've talked about it before, but I do like it because they've been able to. They've replaced the TV mode moments with just cutscenes, which are much more visually appealing than just having characters' icons pop up and they talk. And then you run into like another TV screen and like the screen flashes.
And then everything shakes a little bit. And like the cutscenes for all the recent story stuff have been really well done.
Yeah, they are upping their game on these cutscenes too, and it's really nice.
Yeah. Like the animations have been excellent so far. Everything just feels really actiony and fun and jiggly and actiony.
Speaking of jiggles, we haven't talked about Yidhari's event, her story event.
Yeah.
Which is nice. So, it's to quickly sum it up, she goes to see a therapist after getting out of the Hollow, and then she falls unconscious. And then I love when they bring it up. They're like, hey, you remember that VR system that almost killed all of Hand? They're like, yeah, we all agreed we'd never use it again. They're like, but what if we do use it to deep dive into this
to figure
Lovecraftian monster's dreams?
I like the whole conversation, too, of them being like, well, yeah, that technology exists, but we don't know anybody from Hand. And Bella's like, I know some from Hand. And they're like, and so there's no way we could get in touch with that. They're super important. Bella's like, I know someone from Hand. I know all of Hand, actually. It's totally cool. Let's use this weird experimental technology to just invade someone's dreams.
But I did like it because the gameplay part is really cool where you're piloting these different monsters and you have this cool little team battle turn-based system, and I hope they bring this back again because it was really, really fun, but there was never really a challenge. Even at the end you have challenge modes of them, and I didn't find them too difficult. It kind of reminds me of the tower defense. When the first playthrough of the tower defense, even the challenge modes were not that difficult. Yeah. And then they brought it back a second time and they were like, oh, all of you mother effers said this isn't hard. I'll show you hard. And then everyone's like, all right, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So Keo, please tell us what to do. Where do I put my guys? Help.
But I hope they bring it back.
I like that. Yeah.
And then the story is really cool because you're digging through her memories and finding out why she's able to see these ether ghosts.
Okay.
And it's cool because so the whole thing is just learning about her childhood and she goes through these memories.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh yeah, her character or her mom and dad were Splatoon characters. Which I don't know if you noticed, but her characters, her mom and dad have Splatoon octopus hair.
Yeah, it's tentacle quaff.
Yeah, and then you're like, Yidhari doesn't have that. She has hair.
She has hair.
But she has real tentacles, and they didn't have real tentacles. So I just thought that was funny where they were like, we're not going to animate more tentacles, so we're just going to give them tentacle hair. And we're like...
It's jazz, baby. Thyron stuff does what Thyron stuff's going to do. I liked that because of experiencing it from her perspective, we were able to see characters in a different light. In the first part of the story when you get to meet like she had experienced what's his name from the Outer Ring?
It's not Red Marcus. I always
but I mean she'd seen Big Daddy
and
also in Pompeii. We got to see Pompeii in her memory of Pompeii, which isn't a big ethereal doom lord. It's a guy who genuinely was trying to help somebody and
back when they were just the fun biker gangs.
Yeah, that's a really cool it's a cool awareness of their own world's lore and the timeline of all these things happening.
Yeah. This is also where, because I don't know if you remembered where I talked about my theory about how in the 2.4 story you hear the voice actor for the mayor.
Yeah.
And then he is just voicing another character. He's voicing the old man that raised her.
Okay.
So it is definitely not the mayor who is somehow connected to this proxy. It is just them using the same voice actor.
Listen, man, the mayor's gotta be somewhere. They've gotta be doing something with it. We're gonna pull on every thread we can until we figure out what's going on with this dang mayor.
But yeah, I liked it because it was just about Yidhari. It was just exploring like her memory and like and the experimental drug she gets injected with. That's why she's the only one able to see these ether ghosts, is because she's like, I'm suffering from horrible hallucinations. They're like, it's either that or you die.
Yeah, pick your poison. Plus, it's fun. Like, this is one of the ones I put on the list. I think someday you and I will do a tier list of like Zenless mini games. This one's this already it's kind of my wheelhouse for kinds of games I like to play anyways.
Yeah.
This one's a lot of fun. It feels like a pared down turn-based strategy game. But like they still have the weapon triangle you're dealing with, and like positioning. The positioning is interesting because it matters, but it also is not always in your control. You know, like you'll get a character who can group, and then you're like, all right, I'm going to move them here to group them. And while you're moving them there, the enemies are all spreading out. And you're like, no.
Even better is like, as you're positioning your character, like one of your other ones that are just on autopilot, like walks through the group and breaks it up. And you're like, you son of a...
Just stay still. You don't have to move. It's cool. Like, I don't know why you're moving. Somebody went in and programmed that to happen. They didn't need to do that.
They wanted it to feel more...
Dynamic.
They didn't want it to feel static where you're just standing and then they're just standing.
I get that, but for this kind of game, that's okay. Like if space didn't matter, it would be different, but space and spacing does matter because you get characters that want to AoE and you get characters that want to pull everything in together, but that's got its own range of influence. And so, like, I hope when they bring it back, because I'm sure they'll bring this one back again, they bring it back with more character diversity and stuff, because that's always fun, harder challenges, and maybe don't let enemies move around so much, please. Like, just let me strategize about what I'm seeing. Like, when things like that happen in games like this, it takes away some of the strategy and becomes more luck-based. And introduces more randomness to the encounter. But games like this don't do well with randomness. It's the same reason like the tower defense game, the enemies that come each wave are going to be the same. And they're always going to go the same place. They're going to go the same area because it's not about reacting to a random factor. It's about solving the puzzle. And so for a game like this, the puzzle is, how do I clear out these enemies? With the tools I have at my disposal. You don't need to introduce another like degree of variety. Don't look at me in that tone of voice, Brian. I know what you're thinking.
I was like, Eric's on his gameplay mechanic rant.
Eric's gone off on another like ludological rant about game design. I've earned this.
There's also the counseling minigame. The one where someone says words that are highlighted, and then you find the answer that corresponds with the highlighted words.
But I don't know what to pick, so I let
Fairy
can just answer it for me.
They've been reintroducing Fairy into more things because they're like, oops, big AI who's supposed to be intrinsically tied to the plot because of all our teaser promo stuff, and we forgot about her for like half a year.
Oopsie doozies. And so I don't know. They're bringing her back more. I mean, she's more useful than Winnebago, but
I mean, it's another one of those mini games of they do a good balance every patch. They're like, you have the involved ones like Yidhari's where it takes you a couple hours to complete it. Then you have this one where you can do each daily portion in like 5 minutes and get your free polys and go on with your life. So you don't feel like you have to spend hours all of the time playing their game.
For sure. They want you to put those hours into grinding the
all
tower
of their other games.
Yeah, all their other games.
They're like, if you're playing all of your MiHoYo games, it's going to take up most of your day. We can't
take your time, and you only have so much money, and we need all of that money.
Yeah.
So I need you to be engaged with all of them.
Because if they give you just enough that you're always close to being able to get them, and then you're like, all right, I got to buy like 110 roll. Versus if you're like, well, you gave me like no free currency, I'm not spending money to roll on your game.
I can't keep doing this. Yeah, man. I mean, I'm glad Yidhari's out. I think now the creep begins for whoever comes next. I don't think we know if it's Banyue or Dialin for the first banner for the next patch, but I bet by the next time we have an episode come out, we will know.
My guess is it's going to be Dialin.
That would make sense, just so they're not releasing 2 Rupture in a row. But stranger things have happened.
Yeah.
You know, technically they released 2 attackers in a row by doing Seed and Orphe, but Orphe doesn't really count. Because she's an attacker in name only. She's really a support with extra steps.
Yeah. But also they were the only 2 characters coming out on that banner or that patch, so they couldn't mix it up.
When we do know, we'll be sure to mention it in the podcast, and we'll also put it in our Discord, which you can find a link to that in the show notes below. If you like what we do, like, comment, subscribe, follow, share with your friends, tell people. If there are things you want us to talk about or want us to revisit, let us know as well. I actually think, kind of looking at the trajectory, our next episode is November 27th. It is Thanksgiving Day. You'll get our next episode. So if there are things you want us to talk about, we'll always try to include them. And as always, we appreciate you taking time out of your day to listen to us ramble about this game. Until next time, Yidhari.
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 The call of Yidhari.
Yidhari!